session of Unwired, and today we have Juan Chowdhury uh, with us, who is a wonderful guitarist, and yes, the best sound engineer who I've ever met. Hello, Bhaiya, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me here.
Okay. So the very first question, the most common one, how did you get into music?
Well, my mother was a great influence on me, but I was really not into music until I listened to Linkin Park maybe.
Oh,
Before that, I was into classical music. I was given lessons on vocal classical, complete Vishad and stuff. So, but really didn't like the flavor of music. But then again, yeah, when it came to instruments, I enjoyed that part of it.
so it was mainly the instruments which influenced you to come
Yeah,
into music.
maybe yes, because I wasn't vocally good enough. There was a throat crack session in teenage, so which stopped me from singing, and yeah.
Right. Let me tell you that he's one of the best when it comes to stage setup and sound engineering.
I really
So-
think I have to learn much about it. Not that good, but I can do manageable stuff. But yeah,
So from growing from that stage to the current one, what has been your journey? How would you
it's
describe
been
your
long.
journey?
It's been really long. Uh, there was this time when we had no YouTube. There were these net cafes where you would pay per hour basis, and listen to songs and come back home, try to replicate them on the guitars. I didn't know what the sound was like of a distortion guitar, because my acoustic guitar didn't sound like that.
Right.
So I saw, okay, that's a steel body with a which is a smaller one, but I didn't know how to produce that distortion sound. Someday a friend of mine who played keyboards got me this plug that converts that big plug. I used to call that a big plug and the small plug, the black converter. I put it on my sound card and I plugged in my guitar and I started recording on the Windows voice recorder, which recorded for 60 seconds. And you have to press the record button again to record this. Then I realized, how do I do a multi-track recording? I didn't know how to do a playback one. So then from somewhere, some guy came in, give me this software called Cool Edit Pro 2. I remember that. You could record tracks, each and everything. Then I figured out, okay, you can even bring tracks, import tracks in that, then cut it into sections. Okay, so what I did was, in songs which had only snare sound, I used to record that sound on a sound recorder and paste it on the Cool Edit Pro mix and make the drum sections that way and record my guitar over it. And loosen the tune on my guitar, play the bass on it. That way. Didn't have keyboard, so yeah, no point of recording that. That was back in 2006 or something.
Okay.
Then came Fruity Loops, and perhaps the breakthrough was Cubase. From Cubase I got this maybe a semi-professional platform where I could see a mixer board. I knew what a gain was, what an EQ was, what a compressor was. From there, and it started to build up from there. Time to time I realized that, okay, now studios here have fancy speakers. I didn't know what to call them. Later I realized those are studio monitors. I didn't know. I still don't know why my speakers sound bad than them. So maybe still a lot more to learn. Slowly and steadily I got off from playing, but then I realized that this part is also even important when you want to sound good.
So would you say that Music Club and IIT Guwahati has been
Tremendously,
of
yes.
some influence to your?
Tremendously. One thing is that I could see a lot more musicians here playing on different sets. In this event Manthan, there were literally 12 bands performing. So yeah, I did not see back in my college. There were only 2 bands in the whole college. So here 12 bands from each hostel. It was remarkable. And to listen to everyone play different songs with different sound and how they managed it, gave ideas which could be used in mixing sound of different textures.
So you said that Linkin Park was the first band that you started with.
Yeah.
Now after Linkin Park, usually people have some band or some musician who is like they love the most.
Role models.
Yeah. So do you have any such musician?
Yeah, I could reflect myself in couple of bands, like Eagles for acoustic guitars. When I had an acoustic guitar, I would try to replicate Eagles. Bryan Adams for very easy chords. Michael Learns to Rock, amazing compositions from them. Very different chord patterns, strumming sections, which actually improves a guitar player tremendously from the feel side. Then slowly, steadily, when Linkin Park came in, Evanson, then Dream Theater, Metallica for riffs, amazing riffs for a beginner to learn. Enter Sandman, Fade to Black, these are riffs to learn. So yeah, Metallica definitely yes. Iron Maiden, 3 guitar sounds. I could not pick up a solo yet. Probably the best thing I did was Alter Bridge, Open Your Eyes. So that was it. Different tunings, I got to learn that. Then came Led Zeppelin, altogether another different aura of sound. Every song had its individual characteristic guitar sections. It was really nice. That way I got into guitar sounds. I got to know what a delay is, overdrive pedals. Okay, they use that for this. Tube amplifiers, what do they do? It was nice. And maybe ultimately, which stopped me from playing was Steven Wilson. Yeah, he instrumental person developing whatever I listen to now. Mostly because he has a profound scenario which he builds around himself. He has clear vision of what he wants to do, not jumping around or not doing a trial and error basis if it is this is sounding right or wrong. He knows this is in his head and he wants to replicate it. So that for me was the click point, that yes, this is the way to go. It's very rare that I do any compositions, but when I do, I already have that song in mind. And I just need to replicate that. I do not go and try in a trial and error basis. So yes, Steven Wilson would be the current one, but playing wise, it has to be playing band wise, it has to be periphery for tightness and everything, guitar sounds, modulations.
How do you plan to pursue your music after leaving from the campus? Do you think you'll be able to continue it the way you have done it till now?
Yeah, maybe getting before IIT, I had to drop this taste for music for quite a while to get into academics and crack the entrance examinations. But then music finds its way into you. You don't really have to search. The first day I came in was the music club orientation Surya Prakash organized. I saw, I'll call it as the keyboardist and the guitar player playing Arriving Somewhere. That was a revelation for me. I mean, I loved the standard right there. Arriving Somewhere, it was amazing. Sahil and Pradeep were playing Arriving Somewhere. It was so nice to listen to them. That gave me enthusiasm, and that yes, I can start off again. So maybe someday or another, with the knowledge I have gained from here, maybe I know how to purchase the right equipment at right point of time, gather little funds to do that. So yeah, music will always be there on my mind, and producing, maybe I would not get this platform to expand it the way I have done here, but yeah, it will be there always.
Any suggestions, any advice from your side to the budding musicians in the campus?
Yeah, I would say come sit here, play together. That way you progress really fast. In a room, hostel room, it's okay to give your time. That helps in creativity. But what I have mostly learned things when I was in a group, discussing what to place where, how to do this part and that part, and even realizing that can be done this way, which I have never done. So yeah, sitting here under one roof and playing stuff, listening to bands, having play out sessions. How is this sound different? How is this section played? What is this technique here? How is the drum sounding? I have seen most musicians, they have this ignorance towards what other is playing, which ultimately doesn't have a very tight feel when they play together. So that is very important for me, as when a band is playing, you sit and listen to it with what is what. That is really effective, I feel, and that should be done. And perhaps now is the best time. We have a very conducive environment to even publish what we have done. Recording has always been a headache, whatever it is. We have used phones, DSLR cameras, whatnot. But now I think IIT Guwahati holds enough facilities to record excellent records. And I know people here are very creative with that. It's just that they have to come up and start doing their stuff. That's it.